Listen, I'm no idiot, okay? I've known that you've been doing criminal activity for the past few weeks since our last conversation, right? But from our last conversation, I made my point clear that that was a bad fucking idea, right? And you weren't happy about that, and you made your stroppy little face and you stropped off, right? So I didn't feel like it was my place to push that any further. I was giving you space. If you wanted to reach out, right? So, first of all, I haven't seen your car. I haven't seen you at the ADMC block. So the fact you have been over there, pretty interesting news to me. So, no, this is not me reaching out and the straw that broke the camel's back gotcha moment that you think this is. This is me saying, why the fuck are you hanging out with the torturers that tortured your sister? Answer that question.
Did I ever say?
No. Answer the question without coming up with another question. Answer it. Why are you hanging out with those people?
That is a contradicted question, and you fucking know it.
Answer it. Why are you hanging out with them?
I'm not hanging out with them, Dad. Is that what you want to hear?
Okay. So are you going to continue hanging out with them? Am I going to hear you like going on?
Did I not just say that I'm not hanging out with them?
Okay, fine. Right. That you said that. Are you going to hang out with them in the future?
I'm married to Ziggy, and Rue is my daughter.
I'm not talking about them.
Would you? No.
I'm not talking about them.
Nope. Shut the hell up.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like
Ziggy,
Charlie, for example.
Shut
I'm
up.
talking about like Charlie or anybody else in the club.
Ziggy
or like Finley
is my husband,
down at the Milton's Motors.
And Rue is my daughter.
I'm not talking about your family, okay? I'm talking
are.
about other. No. I'm talking about other members of ADMC.
Are you gonna listen to me, or are you gonna talk
I'm
over
listening.
me?
I'm listening. I've already made my point. I've listened and made my point. I'm not talking about your family.
You are talking about my family.
I've already said, I'm not talking about Z. I'm not talking about Rule. I'm talking about the rest of ADMC. It's a big club, son.
Mm-hmm. And you've generalized it by asking me the question, are you hanging out with the ADMC? Why are you hanging out with the ADMC? If it hasn't caught up to you yet, Dad, I am married to the ADMC. I've adopted a daughter out of the ADMC. It very much fucking matters.
Considering...
No. I'm not asking for the contradictions here. This is what I'm telling you. This is no longer a conversation. This is no longer a back and forth. This is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
The day I left... hold on. The day I left the police department, do you know how many times anyone in the family communicated with me? I'll save you the trouble. 0. I had a conversation with you in person. The next time you called me, it was because my life may have been in danger. The day after everything happened with Etta, you're calling me now? Interesting timing.
So when you left the police department, I remind you that I had been in the hospital, and you left.
How are your doctor visits going?
And you left the police department.
No. How are your doctor visits going?
Lying, saying that you were doing it to take care of me, which was a lie. I'll remind you of that.
I'm going to remind you that my intended purpose was to take care of you. And the person that pushed me away was my fucking father. So I don't want to hear it.
But you lied to the police department when you had reached out to me 0 times to take care of me. So
how do I reach out to a man who has a tube in his fucking throat?
But you still lied to the rest of the police department about it.
If you're going to call me a liar, then you never knew who the hell I was to begin with. And say it to my face if you really want to fucking say it.
I don't know where you've got this idea that I want something bad for you. That I want your life to be miserable. That I'm some kind of evil father that wants the worst for you. All I've ever wanted for you is for you to be happy and have a family of your own. And you've got that. And I'm happy. But we're not talking about that.
But we are. Dad, we are. We have been this whole time. Because it doesn't matter how it happens or where it comes. At some point in this conversation, it has been mentioned, Ziggy and Rue have been mentioned, followed by their gang. So it doesn't matter that it doesn't involve them, or that my side of the family doesn't matter. I know you want the best for me. Obviously, everybody that loves me wants the best for me. If people can't, under any circumstance, find the love or care that they reciprocate for me, or at least my family, my side of the family, whose side am I gonna pick? I'm not leaving Rue, and I'm not divorcing my husband. The family pushed me away, and you're surprised
Nobody's
I'm around.
pushed you away. Nobody's done that.
The fact you even think that is disgusting. The fact you even can consider that
You
is
got
disgusting.
out of the ICU and had to wait 10 days for my own son to call me. Me.
I didn't see you in a fucking week.
You
I wasn't
didn't
gonna
try
text
to
you.
call me. You text me 10
I
days
wanted
later.
to
So don't
see
fucking
my
talk about
father.
pushing anybody away.
Do you remember in
Don't
Mirror
fucking
Park
talk
when I
about
said
nothing.
no?
And then don't,
Do you
no, and
remember?
then Mirror Park,
No.
you walked away from the conversation because you wanted to do crime. And then don't come to
No.
me a month later and say, "Oh, Daddy, why didn't you call me, Daddy?"
No.
So fuck off with that shit. You don't get to pick
The
it. You know,
first
listen,
thing
you
I
lay the
said-
bed, now lay in it, okay? Make it, lay in it.
Okay.
You can't have both worlds.
A week after I almost lost my life, you resulted in my life ending with a bullet in the back of my head. How the fuck am I supposed to feel?
God forbid I be concerned about my only surviving son going into a life of crime where he could die. God forbid. God forbid I have some hard truths to swallow.
God forbid I work with Brian Knight.
Yeah, the job is hard, son, but at least it's saving lives
bad ones
instead of
on both
taking them.
sides, and you know it.
Right, and then look at the people you're hanging around with now. Look what they've done to your sister.
I'm hanging out with nobody, and I've already made that fucking clear.
You want to keep up with that lie? You really want to keep telling that lie?
Sure, actually. You know what? Fine. Yes, I live at the block. I've been sleeping here because I haven't been able to go home. I haven't wanted to go home. The people that have actually taken me in, the people that have given a shit about me and check in and call me is my daughter and my husband.
So you admit you've been lying. Listen, if you continue hanging out with these people, the same ones...
Did I not say that earlier in the phone call?
You said you were hanging out with your family, not the rest of the club. If
no
you
shit, I'm going to see... No. No shit, I'm going to see the rest of the club, Dad. You can't play that game either. I live down here. I sleep down here. It's usually good to get to know your neighbors. And yeah, as a matter of fact, Dad, I work at Milton's Mods. I advertise every day as a mechanic. My boss is Finley Milton. Of course I hang out with people. Of course I see it. I didn't think I need to spell that out for you. I think that's pretty common sense. You just wanted to hear it from me. You're hearing it from me.
Are you comfortable being around all of those people, being friendly with them, working with them after what they did to your sister?
Milton's Mods has nothing to do with what happened to Etta. It is a separate business.
I know. When I go sleep in a hotel, go sleep in the apartments.
Let me divorce my husband and leave my daughter while I'm at it.
Go sleep in the apartments.
What difference does it make?
You don't get to see the people that attacked your sister, for God's sake. You clearly don't have an issue with it. Because if you did, you wouldn't be able to look those people in the eyes.
This is what it's coming down to. You don't think I have any sympathy for what happened. You don't think I have any remorse.
How can you be around those people and not want to do something about it? Be angry. How can you look at them and be okay with it?
I'm not.
But you're
Again,
comfortable sleeping? What about if they come after you next? What about if they kick the door down in the middle of the night and Sean drags you out?
they won't.
I hope you have some assurances, son. They clearly have no issues going after family members, do they?
The only regret I have, Dad, the only regret I have is not trying to reach out more, I guess. I'm sorry that the rest of the family distanced themselves from me. I'm sorry at my lowest time, all I could fucking do was sit in a corner and cry. I'm sorry that all I could do was stand outside an ICU room because I
No,
was
no,
too
no, no.
uncomfortable.
Get
No,
out
no,
your
no, no, no.
pity party. No,
Don't
no, no. Take some
shut the
fucking
fuck up.
responsibility for a change, okay? Take some
Okay,
responsibility and
here's
grow up, okay?
responsibility. Here's responsibility. Nothing in my life is going to change as of right now because when I tried to be honest with you and I tried to communicate this shit with you, you turned me away just like the rest of the fucking family did. Don't
Listen,
forget who turned on who.
you're just like the rest of the ADMC. You're a victim, all right?
Generalize, generalize, fucking
Yeah,
generalize.
yeah. Listen, go hang
Yeah,
out with you. If I see you hanging out with them in the future, you're no son of mine.
good. I'm not your son anymore. Goodbye.
Said, why would I not be in attendance for the death of a family? It certainly took its time, and I'm sure you don't remember me all that well, but I know you've been told. I know that we've had our brief exchanges here and there, but as a part of our agreement, it was meant to stay that way.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, things didn't go well with Flop. Just,
I'm sorry.
I spoke to Flop.
Okay.
Uh, just, it didn't go well. I think Bro was angry. Just, just, just be careful.
Okay. How bad?
Pretty bad.
Oh. Okay. Well, we can talk about the rest of it later. Thank you for the heads up. I'll be careful. You too,
Okay.
please.
Yeah. All right. Take it easy.
Okay. Bye.
All right.
I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Oh, hey, honey. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? You're just a little under the weather.
Yeah, you been drinking your honey tea? Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. Got your
Uh-huh.
lozenges?
Mm-hmm. That's what I got.
Oh, God.
What was up?
Well, you're on duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you feeling a bit better?
That's debatable. But I'm here. Why? Why do you say it like that?
Uh, have you checked your text messages?
No, because every time I do, it's some other disastrous thing that I don't want to hear.
Well, about that.
I don't want to hear it. I don't.
It's She's okay, but Etta was in the hospital.
What happened?
She got kidnapped. She got taken up to... Kidnapped's a strong word. Manipulated, I think might be a better word. And brought up to Cassidy Trail. By Ivy Grace. Once up there, Sean McQuillan, our good friend, arrived, and as did more of the ADMC,
Mm-hmm.
where they had it out with Etcha, and on the things that she said regarding an argument she had with Finley Milton, but also I guess the problems she had been causing because of the family trouble that we've all been having with Ziggy and Rue.
How's that have anything to do with her?
Because apparently she'd been guilt tripping them and that kind of thing, and Sean had been hearing about it for far too long. So they stabbed her and they flipped her over in the dirt and they carved the word victim into her back. That's because of the argument she had with Finn about his trauma from the Sanguine War, where she basically said that he wasn't the only one with trauma, which she's not wrong. They didn't like her saying that.
Well, everyone deals with trauma differently.
Exactly.
I don't really think that, like, even if somebody was able to get over it, that's it. I don't think it's appropriate. And to be clear, I'm not justifying the fucking thing that happened, but that was not an appropriate thing to say.
No. She didn't. She said she wasn't. No, he was saying a bunch of stuff, and he was She was like, there was other people that went to Sanguine, basically saying that she had trauma too, and he took that as her, I guess, making fun of his trauma or something like that. And so that escalated into obviously what happened there. And yeah, she was left there. She's all right. She's at the hospital. She got out. She was discharged this morning. But members of ADMC tried to break into the ICU the other day. They've been hanging around the hospital. Yeah, it's been not great.
So I wonder what Ziggy and Flop are gonna think.
Ziggy's in a rough spot. He's apologetic. I think he feels a level of responsibility for what happened. Plop, on the other hand, is as far as I can tell, has been hanging out with him today. ADMC, that is.
Huh.
And after a conversation where I essentially called him out on it, he accused us all of pushing him away over the past month or so.
We did that.
We did that. apparently. Very resentful, like tone and everything. Um, very defensive. He was lying to me throughout the whole thing. He's been staying down here in the ADMC block. I've had officers tell me he's been doing crime with them throughout, and he really didn't admit it, and then just admitted to lying at the end of it. And then at the end of it all, he wanted to say something the whole time. And I'll be honest, man, I got pretty pissed because the fact that he would even consider being around the people that put his sister in the hospital makes my skin crawl. And I said, if he carries on like that, then he's no son of mine. And he said, well, good, because I'm not your son anyway.
Wow.
So he'd made his mind up before that
Right.
conversation even started.
Mm-hmm.
He was just waiting for me to say something so that he could bite back. I don't know what's happened to him. I really
know.
don't.
Something tells me that's the only thing he had fucking loaded in the chamber, and he's just waiting to say it. But I'm telling you now, if I said the thing I wanted to say that one day about Rue, and the only reason I'm not saying it is because I know the consequence of doing so. I would very easily be their number one target. No questions asked. So I'm glad I didn't say it. But holy fuck was I close.
Just be careful. And Brew, according to Esther and Maple, justified what the club did to Etta. That is. She said that because of what Etta said, that it was okay for them to bait her out and onto the Cassidy trail and stab her and torture her.
Who baited her out?
Ivy Grayson, now the doctor, a member of ADMC.
A doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well. I appreciate the update. It's been a little while since I've been around. Been sick and or busy.
Yeah. Just listen.
So
You don't have to do
I'm
anything.
not.
Just
Well, I
talk to
need you to
Etta.
know this. I'm mentally drained
No,
because every time I show up, it's a call. Someone's in the ICU. This person has done this. This person has done that. I have zero me time. It's Maple contacting me, telling me stuff has happened. And while it's important that I know it, sure, it's every single time. And it's not their fault. But I'm letting you know now, I do not have the mental capacity to deal with all of what's going on. So
okay. No, you don't
that's
have
just
to.
the heads up that if you start hearing that I'm ignoring people, not talking to people, that is why. That is my coping mechanism, so that I don't have to end up in the fucking hospital or Parsons. I'm not a therapist. And so I'm useless in these conversations with people when I'm in this state. And I know that sounds super fucking insensitive, but if I'm letting people know I'm at my mental threshold, and a gust of wind is going to push me over, I need people to stop letting me know what's going on. As fucked up as that sounds, because I'm going to end up in a worse position.
I understand, and I'm sorry for not being there for you as much as I could have been.
No.
It's no,
It's
no,
not.
it's
No.
okay. Listen, you said to me in that interrogation room like a month ago that you felt like you were drowning, and but so much has been going on that I'm sorry. Just take all the time you need, and whenever you're
Thing
ready,
is, I
just
do. I take time, and then literally at the earliest possible opportunity, I'm being informed by somebody that something else has happened, and it's completely out of my control, and there's nothing I can do about it. Um, and I'm already at my wit's end, essentially, like every time, without fail. Half of the time it's Maple, and the fucked up thing is, I know everybody who's telling me these things is doing it out of sort of an abundance of caution, concern, just wanting me to know what's going on so I can be informed. But like for me, it's doing more harm than good at the moment. Which again is fucked up. Like to be clear, I'm not upset that Etta has gone into the ICU or that Etta was harmed, right? Like when I explain to people I can't be told this stuff because of my mental right now, the issue becomes again, I'm gonna get pushed over that mental threshold. And I tell everyone, like, I'm typically the person who, despite being there, um, will try to help people. But I can't do that. I can't because it's every single time something is happening. And I don't want anybody to like frame this as a um how can Rhodes be upset, that somebody's telling him um so and so, the family member ended up in the ICU. But like I deal with what's in front of me. And if somebody is putting something in front of me, that becomes very problematic when I already can't deal.
yeah. No, I understand. I get it.
And
I'll
it's just it's so fucked. I hate this because
no,
the people who are telling me don't know. And again, it always comes from a place of just, wanting not wanting other people to know, but like they want me to know when things are not good. Like I'm not kidding. The last time I was on duty, Maple approached me, and one of the first words out of his mouth was, um, "Don't worry, this isn't a bad one." Like that's my conversations with Maple, because every conversation I have with him has pretty much been him telling me something atrocious has happened. How do I tell someone, hey, if you have bad information, don't tell me? That's fucked.
let me worry about that, okay?
Uh, No, because there's no way to frame that in a good light. I don't know. The next time I see Pixie, I'm probably gonna have a conversation with her and schedule something because I'm gonna lose it.
That's probably Good idea.
What this Ivy person? What are they? Just a normal doc or?
I don't even. Maybe they're. Maybe I'm getting confused. I think that parent. I think they're the daughter of Cantor, so I don't even know if they're actually a daughter. Just don't worry about it, okay? Just there's people looking into it already.
I'm more so asking for myself. Like, if I speak to Pixie, I'm not going to end up scheduling an appointment with this doctor who did this, right?
I don't think so. I don't think they're hired anymore.
Okay, good.
Just yeah, just talk to Pixie and
All right, I will.
okay. I'll speak to Etcha. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. And I love
okay.
you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
All we were doing was talking. I found out my husband saved his life earlier. He may have crashed earlier, hit a tree. Well, he said headbutted it, you know? And who saved him? Coincidentally, my husband.
Yeah, that's good. Is
These
your
are things you'd
husband
never
an
find out with
EMS?
other people. No,
Yes,
no,
it's
my
not.
husband's a marshal. He's a marshal.
Oh, I saw a couple of marshals earlier.
Yeah,
Dark and
Dark is my
Anna, I
husband,
think.
yeah.
Oh, have you spoke to Dark today?
About what?
There was a guy called Fingal Dan in the cells earlier. He wants to cut off my skin and wear it. Cut off your
That's about right.
husband's skin and wear it.
The
He
common
wants
occurrence.
to
He's hot.
kill you, and he wants to kill your son.
Oh.
You know, the jealousy's a
So-
bitch.
Yeah.
Following will be your full call
Have you seen
sign,
my
a
staff
dash,
profile?
your last name, and then a
Oh,
dash.
I'm gonna check.
You can pick Perry or Lane. It's up to you. I know most people call you Perry. I don't think in the entire time of us
damn.
ever working together, someone
I
called
don't-
you Lane.
I don't think I've
No.
ever been called Lane.
Yeah.
Well, there was like 6 of us as well at some point with the last name Lane.
Damn,
too,
I
so
look
it's-
good.
That is true.
You look
That
fantastic.
is very true.
Sir, I'm
So who did you
married.
say it was? Sorry.
Okay. We are still going forward with the weddings on the 13th. Okay. But
Okay.
Sean and I did have we got married.
What?
Yeah. Like I said, you're still going to walk me down the aisle. It's why I called you to see if you were going to be around. Because, I wanted a pure and unspoiled moment between the two of us that nobody could ruin or make about themselves. You know what I mean? So, but we are still going to have the ceremony. You're still going to walk me down the aisle with Matt. So we're still doing that on the 13th.
I don't know, them glasses.
Oh, I think he's unfaithful.
You calling me unfaithful?
Apparently.
I'm just saying,
What
you
the-
got those vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Those vibes.
Yeah,
Sir,
like the unfaithful
I'll have
vibes.
you
know
know,
what I mean?
I've probably got one of the longest standing marriages here in the city. Ain't nobody,
bet
ain't
you wear,
nobody
like, a
in this
monocle at
marriage not
home.
loyal.
I bet you wear a monocle at home, but you wear those shades at work.
No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works.
That's how you unfaithful.
Listen,
you,
just
you ain't
'cause
really
you-
blind. You
No,
ain't
no,
really
no,
blind.
no,
You just
no,
wearing
no.
shades.
No,
It's broad
no.
daytime.
Listen, just
It's
because
broad
you
daylight.
can
You still
find
wearing
someone
shades.
who be checking off all the boxes, don't mean nobody else can.
Damn.
I think you know that it'll be great over there. And I don't think that's what's causing you hesitation. I think you need to stop asking yourself what's great about the BCSO and start asking what's keeping you in the LSPD.
Hmm.
Because I don't think there's a
Okay.
lot.
Okay, now now that you asked that question, there ain't much.
There's not much, is there?
Okay, well, see, I knew even though I kind of knew what you would say, you would say it in a way that like I wouldn't have thought to consider. And here we are. You literally
can
just
I
asked me to
say?
consider one thing and it all just all
I'm
right.
a guru. I'm a Matt Rhodes guru.
Okay. Tomorrow when Lucas is around, I'm going to speak to Lucas about transferring, and at that time I'll see if I can speak to Sky as well. I need approval from both sides.
Yeah, you should definitely do that. You better get one of those campaign hats back because I've been missing that in the bedroom. I can tell you that much.
Honey, what if someone's listening to our phone call?
Let them listen. Let them listen.
You know what? You're right. Hey, if you're listening to this phone call, fuck you. Except you, honey. I love you.
Love you too.
He advised tailgater registered a flop dugong just past the area. Potentially affiliated with the ADMC. Be careful.